Hello everybody, this is Deepak Sharma. Welcome back to another session for the home practice exercise number 7. So this is the part 3 video of the home practice exercise number 7 that we started few days before. So I'm posting this video that is going to start from step 27 from the home practice exercise number 7 that was provided to you guys, that covers all the modules for Sage 300 2017. So in the previous exercise, you have completed everything from step 1 to step 27, which include setting up the company, setting up the GL module, creating all the accounts. Then we ended up creating a bank RBC checking account and link them to the GL account. Then we created up the taxes, the HSD, and then we recorded a transaction for the bank loan that we applied on April 10, and we received $10,000. We posted that entry into the journal ledger. So all those things has been done, and I'm expecting that you should not take more than 45 minutes to 1 hour to complete everything from step 1 to 26. So if you are behind in getting up to step 27 in less than 1 hour, that means you may lose marks not completing this test, the exam that you are going to have, because it will be pretty similar to what you guys are doing right now as a practice. So right now the file that you're looking at has completed everything to step 27. Now, sorry, 26. Now what we're going to do is we're going to activate the AP and AR module. So we are going to go under the admin services, data activation, and proceed. And we're going to click AP and AR. And we will activate that. Close. Now you have AP and AR set up. So now what you're going to do is on step number 28, you are going to create the AP account sets. So we're going to go into the AP setup, and we are going to do the account sets. So we're only creating one account set, which is Ontario. You can just simply type ONT, no to the previous one, and I'll call it Ontario suppliers. Okay, we only have one AP account, so we're going to link that to that accounts payable account. Purchase discount, we don't use this, so technically it's not so important, but for the link purposes we do have to link one account. So what we'll do is we'll pick up the cost of sale for the mask. The prepayment account, I don't have any prepayment, so I will use the same as an accounts payable account. So I'm done creating the account sets. The next part I have is I have to create two distribution codes. So I'll click on the distribution codes. I'm going to do one as cost of sales for the mask. So cost of sale for masks. And this one will be linked to 5001 account for the mask. Then I'll create the second one, COS 02, that is cost of sale for the sanitizers, and this will be linked to the 5002 account. Once that part is done, then you're moving on to the exercise 30 in creating two different terms. So here is your terms. So you're going to create the first one is the net 30 days, and that will be everything day from the invoice, and in 30 days add. Then I'm going to create one more 210 net 30. So here I'm going to say is 2% on 10 days and net 30, and this one due in 30 days and get 2% discount if it pays within the 10 days. So I created the two terms. Alright, so then I'm going to the next part, exercise 31, which is setting up the vendor profiles. So I'm only going to create one vendor profile here, vendor group actually. So going into the AP vendor and vendor groups. So I'm going to create one for Ontario. And since I only have one account set, makes sense for me to just create. And what did I say about the groups? Well, the company term is that they paid net 30 days. So I didn't mention that here, but that's something that you have to do is we will select one term. So for now we will keep the net 30 for everybody. So the bank we only have one, so we're gonna select. So I'm not giving that information because there's only one for you to select. The payment code, we make the payments by check. So we'll only have check actually, so we'll leave it as a check. Under the invoices, you have distribution set or a code. We don't use distribution set, so we only have a code. So we have two codes, but we only going to need option. We only have option to select one. So we select the mask because that's mostly going to be the main business that we are going to expand. So we will select the Ontario mask, and any particular vendor we can always change it for that vendor profile. So tax group is only Ontario, so we select the Ontario. So there we go, we created a vendor group. Now you asked to create a one vendor profile, so we will create a one profile. So the vendor group is 1000 and it is your last name. So you actually had to type in your last name. So if I were to do it myself, I'll put Sharma PPE Supply. So if it's you doing this, you will put your last name, PPE Supplies Limited. Then the vendor group, you only have one, so we're going to select Ontario. The business registration number, so that registration number that you have, what I'm asking you to do here, okay, I didn't ask you anything, so we simply leave it as blank. So anywhere where I don't ask you to do anything, you leave it as blank. And then to go to the contact, so I'll give you the contact information. So this is Ontario, net 30, RBC, checking, and the credit limit is 10,000. Invoices will automatically pick up, so we'll leave as a default and click add. So now your vendor is created. So next part you have is you are planning of recording an invoice. So there's a one invoice you received from a supplier that you placed an order for mask and the sanitizer. So that's something that you have to record the transaction. So for a transaction, you go to AP transaction, invoice batch list, create a new batch, and entry number 1 is invoices, and we'll leave the date as April 30th, and we can say invoice 1251, and we pick the supplier, which is 1000. Is the invoice date is April 15, and the document number is 1251. And what's the total amount? I don't know yet. I will put that amount because I need to calculate. So which item am I selling? I'm selling so I purchased 2000 masks at $2 per unit. So the mask that I purchased is 2000 times 2 is 4000. Then I also purchased the sanitizers as well. So I'm going to click insert to go to the next line, and that one is the sanitizer that I purchased. And how much sanitizer I purchased? 100 at $1.50. That means it's for 150. Okay. So again, as I said, mask is the major business that we're doing, so we spend more money on that, and we only order 100 sanitizers somebody asks, right? So the total amount is 4,150 plus the HST. So you can either use the calculator to do it. If not, system is already adding up the taxes and already know that this is the total amount. So you can either do it the manual calculation. Oops. Okay, so let's just do the calculation ourselves. So 4,000 plus 150 times 13%. So 4,000 plus 150 is 1,000 times 1.13 is 4689.50. 4689.50. Then go to the taxes, Ontario. Terms is net 30. The total is 4,689. I'm okay with that. Add and close it. So there was only one transaction, so therefore we are done. We're ready to post. Yes, and click post. We're done with that entry. Then we move into the next part is we have the record the following vendor payments. So next one is the vendor payment. So we can go into the payment batches and click new batch. Okay, that's it. AP vendors. So let's see if we have RBC is selected. That's fine. Okay, that's it. I'm getting that message. Let's try one more time. Default bank and AP option is invalid. Okay, so we have to do the AP option. So yeah, so there's a one step you have to do under the AP options, so which I did not list there, but you definitely need to do that, is to set up the default bank account, because if you don't do that, it will give you that error message that we are seeing right now. So we do have to, before the along the account sets, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to go under the AP options and select the default bank payment as the RBC payment. So that's something that I'm going to ask you in step number 28, but since it wasn't listed there, so I'm gonna correct it and modify it. So processing is done under the transaction, see this default, because the batch is gonna pick up the default from here. So if it doesn't read it, it won't do it. Okay, so I'm gonna revise the step number 18. Before the account sets, you are gonna go into the option and select the default bank account. So that's default bank account. Once the default bank account is done, then the next part that I'm going to do is I'm going to record the payment transaction, the payment batches. So now we're going to go into the AP transaction. Under the payment batches, I'm going to create a new payment batch. See, now I see I picked up that AP payments. Under the payment, what we're going to do here is we're going to click on the vendor number, select the vendor. So the first payment that we had is April 25th. So this one vendor is, so April 25th made a payment to your last name. So you made a payment to your last name. We're not going to print a check. The check is done manually. So I know the check number is 1001. And how much amount am I paying? I'm paying the full amount. So full payment was made. So we made a full payment of $4,689, and we click add. April 30th paid the office rent of $1,000. So this is the office rent, that is a miscellaneous payment, and I'm going to do this for ABC landlord. And this is by check as well, and I'm going to do is 1002. And then for this one, I have to select the taxes. It's Ontario. Yes, I want that to be changed. And the GL account that I'm going to do is the rent, and it's $1,000. So $1,000 plus 130, the total is 1130. Under the invoice, I can put the April 2020. So that means I know that this is the rent that I'm paying. Right. Okay. The other one we have is April 30, purchase an office equipment by cash for $3,200. So again, that's also a miscellaneous payment. Okay, well, I don't have the cash option, so I'm going to do is this one, I'm going to change this to check number 1003. So this is by check 1003, and who am I paying to? Home Depot, and the taxes is Ontario as well. And what am I buying from them is I am buying the furniture and equipment. So I'm going to select the furniture and equipment for $3,200 plus HST. The total is $3,616. Invoice number, you need the invoice number, so I'm just going to put the invoice number is 1939. So the invoice number here is 1939. Okay, so now those payments are recorded. Once those are recorded, what I will do is I will post them, ready to post, yes, and click print and post. So this one you always have to do print and post. Once that part is done, you close it, and I want to make sure that I posted this entry as well. Ready to post, yes, it is posted. Okay, so it's easy to remember is when you are doing this, you know that you have to post it. You post both of these batches. So next part that you have there is you are printing the reports. So there are 4 reports I'm asking you to print. The first one is the distribution code. So what you're going to do is for the distribution code is you are going to go into the AP reports, AP transaction reports, AP setup reports, look at distribution codes and print it, and we'll click on export PDF and OK. And this one is R6, and what we call that is the distribution code. Okay, done. The next one I have is the vendor profile. So for that I have to go to AP vendor report, vendors, and when I click include profile, so make sure it includes profile, and once it's printed we're going to export PDF and OK, and that is R7, and this is vendor. Done. Then the next one I have is the posting journal, so that is AP transaction report and posting journal right here for the invoices. And always do this, reprint the previous printed journal just in case if you printed it before. And this is your R8. So R8 posting journal invoices. Done. Close that. Then we're gonna have to do the posting journal for the payment. And save. OK. OK again. Now this is R9, and this is posting journal payments. Done. Okay, so you're done. Your accounts payable. Now what you're doing is you're coming into the account receivable. So under the account receivable, we are going to go into the AR setup. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to go to the option, no changes to these. Under the transaction, default bank code has to be selected. So that is RBC right here. And everything else is going to be we're going to leave it as a default. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the account sets. Under the account sets, what we're going to do is we're going to create one account set, and we're going to call this as Ontario, and then we're going to say is Ontario customers. And what we're going to do there is we're going to have a receivable control account, and that is actually 1200. Yeah. And the discount, we will use a revenue discount account for that. And for prepayment, we'll do that, and right away we'll just select the bank charges for now. Add. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to create, when you've done the account sets, we're going to create a one term only. We'll call this as N15. That 15, and that is in 15 days. Once that part is done, you're moving into the creating two items. So here is the item. Item number 1 is MAS XXX, and again this is XXX means your last 3 digits or last digit of your student number. And we don't need no distribution code, we need the account number. So here we're gonna do this one to the sales 100 account. There's only one inventory account we have, so that's that. And the cost of sales for this is COS ask add. Okay, we're gonna have to go to the pricing, say each unit, and the item here is selling at $5.50. Sorry, the cost is $2 and the sale price is $5.50. Tax status, you can leave it blank or you can select the HST on that. Then we're gonna do the next one is gonna be sanitizer, and we're gonna do is SAN and XXX, and we will call that as a sanitizer. Okay, and then here you go into the item, everything remains same, but the revenue count is going to change, 4,002 and 5,002. Then go to the pricing, and the price is going to be each unit, and how much unit price cost is going to be. The cost is $150 and the sale price is $4, and the tax that we have is Ontario HST. Okay, and then once that part is done, you're moving on to the exercise number 39, where you create 2 different customer groups. So I'm gonna stop right here because I don't like my videos to exceed more than 20 to 25 minutes. I want it to stay less than 30 minutes actually. So it does require me to do a little bit of more steps. So I'm gonna stop this video, and there'll be another video that I'm gonna record that will include creating the customer groups, creating these customers that we have, and then recording the transactions in the AR module, then posting them into the GL batches as well, and then printing the trial balance. So there's a step number 39 to 45 that still need to be done, but I will be back with another video that will include the remaining steps. So for this video, what we have done is we have done setting up the accounts payable, we've done some transactions in the AP vendor settings, and then we started with the account receivable setup. We set up the account receivable, and then we created the account sets, we created the terms, we created the 2 items, and that's where we have stopped. Okay, so we have stopped at exercise 38, and then I will continue to the remaining exercise, which is 39 remaining steps of this exercise, which is 39 to step 45. Okay, so let's get back on that video later, little bit later, and then we will finish up this exercise. So before I let you guys leave, I'll show you guys the reports I have saved on my OneDrive under the reports. So I've saved. So this was what we did previously. We did the distribution codes, and we did vendors, posting journal for invoices, posting journal for payments. Okay, so what I did before I closing it down, I want to make sure that I save these ones into my download folder before I close the computer. Okay, so this is it guys, and I will see you guys in another video that will wrap up this home practice exercise number 7. Thank you for listening, and I shall see you in next video. Bye bye.